Oh man, Arthur Joe. Maybe some of that, yeah. Welcome everyone to another OJ's Bad Movies. We guys heard your feedback. You wanted more of it. We finally got some downtime, and this one has been on my list. Mad HEIDI. This was recommended to me by a friend, Tolg. He's got a bad taste in movies, just like me. Mm-hmm. But this one did look pretty good.
Okay.
From the trailer, I was hoping you guys would kind of like this one a little bit better than Ape versus.
That was classic.
This I don't know. Is it always bad? OJ's bad movie reviews, but we don't necessarily always have to watch exclusively bad.
No, because this one was actually made with passion.
Yeah,
no corporations.
It seems like
and it's crowdfunded, and you can kind of tell it's like, hey, they had fun with this.
That's
exactly why I like these kind of films. This one kind of ranks up for me with Blank Dynamite, that kind of quality.
Honestly, I love this, Joe, because I had no idea this thing existed.
You're welcome.
I think I know every movie that comes out, and here, lo and behold.
Well, not these. These are like underground.
What? This is underground.
Before they were cool.
So it came out, 2022,
Yes.
I think, when it was around the award show, and then like major release in 2023. I go on Rotten Tomatoes, 90% critics, 94 audience. I'm like, what the hell? How have I not heard of this?
Yeah, unfortunately, I saw it on Amazon, but I had it in my queue, but then Amazon took it off.
Yeah.
So
it's not on Amazon anymore. We had to watch it on Apple TV. I think you can buy it on YouTube as well. And just when I was trying to say something nice about Apple to the boys, because I was watching Pluribus, it messed up on us, and it stopped our rental, and I had to get it elsewhere. But yeah. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, so quick plot of the story. Mad HEIDI lives in the mountains with her boyfriend, and there's a monopoly on cheese. The Swiss president, Casper Van Dien. He says,
Rico!
No cheese. My cheese is the best. Some shady shit going on with some cheese. We'll talk about that later.
Starship Troopers.
Yeah, and come to find out, the boyfriend is selling some of his own cheese.
Illegal cheese.
He gets caught and then gets murdered.
And a really impressive practical
The effects
effect.
on this are pretty good. I was very surprised. I did not expect it.
Me neither.
Yeah. So then this is what kind of moves the plot forward for vengeance. She gets arrested after all this, and then she gets tortured. She escapes from prison, and then we get some vengeance. That's a quick summary. I thought it was a good film.
That's the whole movie.
And then the action scenes happen, and there's some crazy stuff that happens in the prison as well. So that's the quick story, whatnot. I personally think you have to go watch this one. You have to experience this for yourself, because we will talk about spoilers in a bit.
Okay, so if you want to watch Mad HEIDI and you don't want it spoiled, then go watch it right now. It's only a $2 rental, so I mean, no big deal. And then come back here and we can drink, and we need beers on your show, Joe. That's what we need. God
This
dang
would be
it.
like 100.
You got.
This is a great film. Best film I've ever seen.
Okay.
For me, this is better than Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Oh yes.
These guys
all right.
downloaded it again.
I'll give you that.
I'll
give you that.
What did you guys think?
Go ahead, Alex.
It's kind of they call it Swissploitation, right? And so it's nothing but funny in jokes about Switzerland and like the culture, and so it's such an homage to like blaxploitation, and it's trying to be bad in certain situations, and so it's not when people are trying to spend a bunch of money and they want to make a good movie, but they're trying too hard, or they just don't have any talent and they make a bad movie. They set out to make this, and I think they saw their vision completely through. Tolg's been telling me about this one for a long time. I've been waiting to watch it, so I was excited to see it.
Oh my god!
And it's
It's
bad in the best possible way.
It is bad.
It is a bad movie.
It is a bad movie
in a good way, and it knows it's bad, and it has fun with it.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's just like it knows what it is. It has fun with it, and anytime you watch any of these garbage movies, and I mean garbage in the most loving way, right? Because like
this is trash,
and so it's like these movies are kind of trashy and kind of garbagey, but
No, I agree.
they can have so much fun, and then you are having fun with it, and so I think that this is towards the top of this scale of movie where it's just it knows what it is, has a good time, and you can't help but have a good time if you're open to it.
Yes,
and I was open
have
to
some
it.
drinks, grab your friends. This is gonna be a great one.
Yeah, I completely agree. I will say, I don't. That the cinema, I was impressed with the gore. I was impressed with the cinematography.
Too.
I was impressed with the music. I was impressed with the CGI and the effects and the practical nature. They definitely had some talent on this project, except the writing. I think the dialogue. So a lot of the jokes, maybe I laughed twice throughout the whole thing, but I had a smile on my face because I could tell people were having fun. It was goofy. It was ridiculous. It was over the top. I see a legendary film here that I want to cherish and love and rewatch over and over, but it's just not here because the writing is so weak. And then, unfortunately, one more criticism is the main actress.
I think it's Alice
Lucy. And unfortunately, I didn't think now maybe she was directed to act in the kind
over
of
the top
hokey way.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting.
Just her constant evil smile or sinister smile that she's an action badass babe. I wasn't buying it. The choreography was terrible, and she does have some cheesy lines, pun intended, cheesy lines. There were 2 good ones, but I would say there were like 12 ones that I was not.
Could have been like,
it could have been better.
Again. Let's try another
Let's
one.
do another take.
Ad libs.
And I can't tell if it was on purpose or it was that way. But regardless, I wasn't as invested in her acting and her character as much as nearly every other character. Casper Van Dien, chewing the scenery, the worst accent. I have German, Swiss
kiss.
Worst. He keeps going in and out of his accent. And then the grandfather looks exactly like I would expect. The grandfather's friend, the father of her boyfriend, has such a badass voice. Yeah, the dad of Goat Pete. Even Goat Pete and his blaxploitation pimpness walking down. Like, I thought every single character worked except for 2. And we could talk about the other character too, but the main character kind of held it back from me, Mad Heidi herself. And when the whole thing is on Mad Heidi, I wish I liked Mad Heidi as much as I liked especially that the Pink Panther looking guy, the Inspector dude, the second in command, Nor or something. He's such a good bad guy. I've never seen this guy in a role, and I was like, man, I want a whole movie on that guy, or I want a whole movie on those 2 muscle chicks in the prison. I want to know their story. So all those stories were a little bit more compelling to me than Mad Heidi, and I think it's because it was a collection of all the tropes we've seen before.
Yeah,
but it was on purpose.
Mm-hmm. So you would recommend this as well, right?
Yes.
$2?
Oh,
more
yeah.
You can be way worse than $2.
This is a banger at $2. This is a full price movie that I think a lot of people would have fun with. I just wish that. Yes. I mean, I see the potential here as being like legendary level, and it's not quite there because the writing isn't there. But you're gonna be surprised with every single other element.
This is like a gateway drug. You're gonna start saying
now, Joe.
What else is there?
Now I'm like, give me another one like this one that with a little bit better writing and the main character. Are there more like this?
Have you seen Top Secret?
Top Secret.
I love Top Secret.
Of course, yeah. Classic.
Yeah. Well, the one I was comparing it to was Black Dynamite. I fucking love that one.
I love Black Dynamite. I wish there were more.
Yeah. I'll find some more. I'll try to find some more. I have a list.
But see, that Black Dynamite is like this, but I love the main character. It had good writing. and I liked it a lot.
Oh, there's plenty more.
Good.
Tog's got some great recommendations.
And bad ones. And some terrible ones.
Yeah.
Dude, so not a ton of praise.
You're lucky, because I was actually thinking of Snake Outta Compton.
What? He goes in the hood.
But there's a snake.
There's a snake that attacks gangsters.
There's this nerdy guy who kind of like makes it grow, but then it gets too big. The CGI is pretty bad.
Oh my god! Well, see, that's what I like is that even though it's called OJ's Bad Movie Reviews, that it doesn't necessarily
it doesn't have to be bad.
to always
like,
be bad.
Like,
bad.
Like these, we're just like people having fun.
It's more like OJ's movies. You know what I mean? This is an OJ movie.
Like that's all over the place, though.
OJ movies.
It's all, he's seen
that.
that.
But then we
seen
should say OJ's movies. But I guess we just put bad to grab the attention.
I love that there's such a wide spectrum of quality and passion that goes into some of these movies. And this one's, I mean, like we've said it before, but it's like it's towards the top because like you can tell that these people knew how to make a movie. It's not, the camera's not shaking violently. There's a lot of like I love some of the practical effects in here. There's some really cool ones, and then some kind of look silly with rib cage opening up and closing, and
but it's silly in a good way.
It's silly in a good way, and so it's like you're having fun with it. And I agree that it's not crazy strong writing, and it's
a cheese.
It's thick.
It got a little weak in the end. It was, I don't know, because it says it was crowdfunded. I thought maybe they rushed it at the end because did you notice how like it switched to digital camera, like they were just using a handheld for some of it, where the rest of it was like, wow, I'm impressed with the cinematography.
Some of the outdoor shots were gorgeous, and then we see other ones, and you're like, this is on an iPhone.
When they're in the arena for the final battle, it kind of falls apart. Now, one thing that I can say objectively bad about this film, Joe, is they reuse shots. Did you notice this, Alex? You notice this? They reuse shots over and over. So if she does this stance where she's like,
yeah, I know,
and
exactly
then they'll fight, and then
yes.
they'll use that same shot where it's like, yeah, but you just did that.
This one she gets a little bit better.
I'm like, what's happening?
No, it was the same one. She did the same katana slash like in this montage over and over. And
it's I was like, I swear to God, if she does that katana slash one more time,
but it's probably on purpose.
It's the same shot.
It's probably just fucking on purpose, and it's
you may be right. It might be on purpose.
The problem with this type of movie, if you're trying to be seriously critical about, which I'm not, is that you have no idea what's intentional or not, and they're like, yeah, that's the point. It's supposed to be a bad movie, and you're like, oh, okay, it's supposed to be a bad movie.
Yeah, but you made it bad. If you take those repeated shots out, I actually think you're making art.
Yeah.
But you're ruining your own piece of art, and I was
mad. Maybe go for the humor or something. It's like we know.
No, but that's not humorous. It felt lazy, is what I'm saying.
But that's what their take was.
I know.
Did you find it very funny? I mean, like the premise is ridiculous and funny, but it's like
that part.
joke.
I know what you're talking about.
I wish it was like him. I wish it was a little bit funnier. I think there's tons of opportunities for more fun cheese jokes and things.
Been more.
But.
Well, let's go with final verdicts, and then we'll talk about some of my best scenes that I liked in this film.
Your favorite moments? Okay, final verdict?
How are we scaling?
Oh, shit, Joe, we still have no idea how to do final verdict.
17 to 99. I'm going to give
99?
this 88.5.
88.5.
Joe, you can't.
Hey,
there's no .5.
What is it? It says OJ's Bad Movies.
So choose between 17 and 99.
All right, Joe. All right. Yeah, all right. You're right.
Is it here?
Why are you breaking the rules, Joe?
He's
making the rules.
He's making the rules.
He's making the rules.
He's making the rules.
You better have a ridiculous fucking fraction rating, Joe.
Okay, I have 85.3314.
Oh, okay.
Thought you were gonna say 3-3 repeating.
I was.
So it's 17 to 99, right?
Yeah, there we go.
I'm gonna go 82 and 3/16. That seems pretty solid. I think it's
okay. I'm gonna do. This is fun. I get to use a fraction for the first time. Like fucking IGN. I hated it when they would give things like a 0.1.
Yeah. I give it a pizza.
I'm gonna give it a 71.2.
Oh, let's see. That's pretty good.
71.2.
There you go.
Nice.
You made me use a point.
We all like it. Everyone, go check it out. Grab some friends. Grab some beers. You're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna talk about some of our favorite parts. So you've been warned.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's a pretty strong opening as far as like what the style of the movie is going to be when we first get to see Goat Pete in his element. He's strolling through this alpine village.
He's like, oh, he's a bad guy.
He's wearing like lederhosen and he's got like gold stuff everywhere and he's just very around,
Swiss.
And it's just like, wow, this guy, and then so he sells illegal goat cheese to these out of town.
Puts down a little brick.
A whole brick of it.
Guys pulls out his knife.
This is when it was working for me.
Yeah.
Because it was like these shady Italians, and then the guy, cuts it and eats it. And he's like, oh. And he goes on this explanation of how good his cheese is.
I love goat cheese. And these people love goat cheese. And so, like, that sets the tone for the whole movie. It kind of lets you know what's going to happen. But almost immediately, Goat Pete gets caught. He gets ratted out. So they waterboard one of these Italian guys by pouring fondue over his head.
That was so fucking good.
They shove bread cubes in his mouth.
Would you like that, Joe? Would you like to be fondue waterboarded?
This little bitch is lactose intolerant.
And that's what.
Oh, get him! Get him!
They make a joke. They make a joke.
They round up the lactose intolerant.
They would round Joe up.
Yeah, and so they shove bread in this guy's mouth, and then they waterboard him with fondue, and it's just like everything about this is perfect. And then we immediately go into the scene where they finally grab Goat Pete, and then they execute him with this little crossbow that has
a little mini nuke.
It's like a little mini nuke on the end of it, and
it's like a Rambo thing.
It looks so fucking good because as soon as he did.
And his head splits open, and there's a fountain of blood. I'm like, I'm going to love this movie.
Great effects.
Yes.
Great effects. And I love practical effects, and that was pretty fucking good.
It was. I was impressed. And then we go into, right away, Casper Dean chewing scenery.
Oh, yeah. He was having a great time.
Yeah, and this is where she gets all sad, and they capture Mad HEIDI. Her grandpa tries to stop him.
Because he was part of the resistance
many years ago. 20 years ago.
I was impressed with the title sequence where he's like taking over. I don't know how. I mean, it seems very Nazi-like, his takeover. I'm like, so wait. In Switzerland, I thought they, remained neutral during World War II.
This is dystopian cheese-based future, Joe.
Okay,
you can't think about
his
it too
own
much.
reality. He takes over through policies.
I don't want to frighten
policies.
you. I don't want to frighten you. Within the last month, did you know that Switzerland won world cheese again? The top cheese in the world is Swiss again. Gruyère's fucking delicious.
But here's the thing: is that his cheese sucks.
Yeah, but so this is how
I
they get
don't understand why he would win the presidency. Maybe because he's Casper Van Dien.
He lied, and he leads with Gruyère, and then he's that garbage.
Okay.
Grocery store.
Yeah, that mad scientist.
So he takes over and he imprisons anybody who is lactose intolerant.
Yeah, we can't tolerate the lactose intolerant.
Because apparently, Joe, you're lactose intolerant, you would know when you eat a piece of cheese and you're lactose, they test people. It's almost like they were internment camps.
Seizures.
Put cheese in your mouth, and if you're lactose intolerant, you do this.
Happen.
Well, you don't foam out of the mouth.
I thought they were gonna do a joke like that. Though.
Oh, you start farting.
It's like, oh no, then get the Bee Gees or something. I thought
that
they were
would have
gonna
been
do
funny.
That.
It seemed like the perfect spot for it.
Yeah, there was an opportunity for, I think, a little bit more humor.
Yeah, so I think they messed up on that one. But once she gets into prison, we meet these buff ladies. Jesus Christ.
I have never in my life seen a chick this defined.
I have.
With like ripples.
You should see his dating profile.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
You got muscle mommies, Joe?
It was at Gold's Gym. This lady was huge.
Yeah, and it was like these girls.
Yes.
I was like,
scared.
holy crap. And I was like, at first I was rolling my eyes. I was like, oh my God, they're going to do this thing where like she gets beat up in the prison by big muscle mommies. And
yeah, she does.
That's what happens.
This is where I thought the training montage was going to happen. But no, she just gets abused because they're going to use her for combat for the festival that was going on.
Why is she in prison?
She was in prison because she
was the main one.
She was related to Goat Peter. Yeah, and she ran away.
Because she cried when Goat Pete's head exploded.
And Casper Van Dien wanted her for the festival.
Because she's like stereotypical Alp girl, and it would be good for propaganda to have someone from the mountains.
Because they were trying to get a treaty with the
French. And because the French didn't want to import their cheese. Yeah. The French are very snooty about the cheese. Also, delicious cheese.
But Casper is saying, first we get the French, then
The world.
we rule the world. It's like, wait, but with the cheese, first you
Not just
export
any
cheese to
cheese.
France.
Ultra Swiss.
Ultra Swiss
Once
cheese.
you export cheese to France, you rule the world.
Yeah,
Yes.
because it turns them into zombie subhuman creatures.
Yeah.
And then
That's the secret plan.
That's
at the end.
the secret that we get later on. His accent constantly goes in and out. They're constantly joking about it. They're like, "This is our very Swiss president."
Very Swiss.
Very Swiss. And so the entire movie, they refer to him as the very Swiss president, Casper
Well,
Van Dien.
at first I thought that they were like secret Nazis, like maybe migrating from, because I didn't know what time this was set in. I kept thinking World War II, but it's not. Because in Swiss, the main language, one of the main languages is German, so it's not like they were doing that, but they were speaking a lot of German, and they had very well done. I think everybody who was an evil character in this worked.
Yeah, Madame Rottweiler and
It's
her.
just the heroes. No, all the heroes worked except for two.
Yeah.
And the two that didn't work for me was Mad Heidi herself and her friend in the prison.
Yeah.
I hated this character. What's her name?
Kara.
Kara.
It is so awful because I expected big things from her, right? She meets her
Yeah.
first when she's in this police wagon.
She's kind of a waste.
And her
I agree with
her
that.
character's completely wasted. It's just, what's her trait? She has a Japanese accent. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That they do nothing with her the whole film. I guess at one point she's eating too much cheese,
And it's starting to brainwash
so it
her.
brainwashes her. But the character floats through the film. She shows so much concern for this character. We don't care about the character, and by the end, they do the cheesy Mad Heidi will return in Heidi and Clara.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, please no. I don't like Clara, and
No,
But the
even
sequel is
sure,
where she
really.
gets a character.
maybe.
yeah, the
that-
muscle ones had more character than she did.
Yes!
She was very.
That's why I was like, I
underutilized
want a
in this
movie on
one.
these girls instead of Clara.
The prison sequences, in my opinion, were kind of unnecessary. And there was
Yeah.
because the movie I think was really amazing in the start, and it kind of sagged in the middle, and it picks back up towards the end. But in
Yes.
the middle, I think we're supposed to be figuring out this plot, right? Like, because we get hints that Heidi's realizing that the cheese is the source of like them controlling people, and they're hinting at it. But it's like we spent a lot of time there for her not to
do anything
do
in prison. That's
anything
why
with
I
it.
thought in the prison scene she was gonna do like a montage,
yeah.
like start training into prison and then break out later on. But no, she doesn't really. She just gets beat up. She gets beat up there, finds out the plot, then she escapes after killing.
Oh, you're saying, that's intriguing. You think the first version of cheese is a experiment as well.
Yeah.
Not just super cheese. The first Heidi cheese, or Hailey, what's his name? Miley? Maley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maley is the president. Maybe his first version of cheese brainwashes you.
Yeah,
if you
That's
eat
what
too
it did
much.
because you could kind of see it. In
She's
the
sitting there
final
eating the
battle.
cheese, yeah.
In the final
Okay.
battle, everyone's kind of
I
like.
kind of got lost on that
Kinda
part.
loopy
It
about
didn't
it.
really come through too well.
And then to kind of explain the whole montage thing, almost an unrelated scene that I wish had been in the prison is she
Yes, I
finds this green fairy cabin because it's a big thing of absinthe. You drink too much absinthe, you see the green fairy, but it's like the green
Oh,
fairy.
that's what that was.
Yes.
Because I was like, what is she drinking?
Yeah, she's drinking absinthe.
Doesn't
and then,
happen.
And it's filled with,
You've done it before, Joe?
Oh,
You
we drank
drank
a ton of
ton,
absinthe.
ton.
Yeah, a lot. And, you don't,
How was the
you won't-
hangover?
What happens is the world spins, but like
No
you don't,
hangover?
It wasn't bad though.
I heard
you wouldn't like
absinthe is
it.
crazy. No, I it's black licorice, right? Yeah, I've
heavy
had
in
it
this,
before.
Yeah.
It's really strong.
But yeah, some of them are up to 80%. Like they're
Yeah.
crazy. But she drinks a bunch of absinthe and she wakes up and this green fairy is like, you can train here, but no weapon that's already in here can ever leave. And then she trains with these two nuns.
Yeah, it's this older
kinda
lady that
weird.
looks like somebody famous. Is it? You got Golden Girls on your shirt right now, Joe? Is this a famous old lady? She
This one
looks
I
like
don't
she would be some
know,
kind of
actually.
famous old lady, but I
Yeah.
guess she doesn't really talk. She talks in whispers, and
to see what
it's
other
kind of
movies.
hard to hear what she was
Andrea
saying.
Fisher.
Yeah. But she says, I am the spirit of the Alps, or
Yeah.
the Swiss
The motherland.
spirit.
Yeah, because they're anti-fatherland, and she's like, no, this is the motherland.
Oh, because they keep referring to Switzerland as the fatherland if you're on the authoritarian regime side.
Just this movie, yeah.
But if she only did this movie. Well, she looks famous for some reason. And then, but the rebellion refers to it as the motherland as she scrawls on the wall in blood, long live the motherland.
Yeah.
I think the motherland, I don't know if Swiss ever refers to the motherland. I tried to look that up. It's like Russia's motherland, Germany's fatherland. There's some countries that refer to their land as motherland, but I don't think Swiss is one of them.
She wrote Death of the Fatherland, but
Fatherland is a bad one.
She's pro motherland.
Motherland's a good one.
But yeah, this scene did kind of run on too long with
Which
the
one?
same
The same montage.
Yeah, the montage. It should have been cooler than it was. I like the nuns. I like the idea of the nuns and this green glowing absinthe lady.
They could have done
but it
more.
didn't get executed well enough. I thought if you had maybe they didn't have a great choreographer for the ninja stuff, and if they did and put actual ninjas in there as the nuns, then maybe that scene could have worked, because I just wasn't. It was like Rey in Star Wars. It was like a really bad montage, and she goes from not knowing anything to being this amazing warrior. And I get it, again, like you said, this is supposed to be like this and ridiculous, but I kind of want a little meat on the bone there.
And so she's given a pole arm, the traditional weapon of the Swiss Guard, and they forge it for her in the secret nun green glowing blacksmith place. And then she's very triumphant. And
they were not hitting that very hard, were they?
No.
I thought they were gonna do like more spark or something. Like
it needed to be better.
Cooler.
Yeah.
Some of the parts it kind of felt like rushed. It felt like, all right, that's the first take. Let's try again in this take.
It was crowdfunded. They needed
crowdfunding.
Yeah, it was a small crowd.
Yeah.
So, then we go on and she
gets her armor and everything.
She's got the power, and she comes across the groups of guards and she starts to kill them. She gets a real great shot where she stabs a dude in the dick, and it's just pissing blood, high power, high pressure, all over the ground. And just when you think it's gonna end, doesn't end. Just blood, nonstop, just gushing out of this dude.
Lots of gore.
Yeah.
I love the gore in this. It was done.
What was your favorite gory moment?
When the mad scientist gives the guy the ultimate Swiss cheese. He turns into this crazy zombie. He grabs his propaganda manager. Like
and
rips his chest open. He's like, oh, God.
And it was spraying.
Yeah, and then
you could tell it was two different prosthetics. So the first one when he ripped him over, and then the second one when it's just open on the ground. You could see his heart pumping. I was like, well done.
Yeah, that's cool.
My favorite one was, aside from Goat Pete's head exploding, because that was one of the best head explosions I've seen, is the dude getting cut in half with her. What is it? Halberd, her Swiss halberd, and
the fish. There's a fish, right?
No,
what fish?
No,
halberd.
Oh, halibut?
Oh, that's halibut.
Halibut, yeah. Halberd's different.
Yeah, and then I did like after she did that, the guy playing the accordion. She like ran.
I see what they were going for, but they needed to have his jaw or something come out.
Yeah, he just dies. Goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. It's got some style. There's definitely talented people on this crew, and I appreciate it.
No, I agree with some of the things. Like they could have done like another take. It's like, all right, let's try it, because some of her punchlines at the end after she killed is like,
her early punchlines fell flat.
This one didn't work.
But she actually had some good ones. What do you think was her best line? Oh shit, you're not gonna remember, are you?
Probably
the one at the end.
Yeah, the one she stabs the guy in the stomach and she thinks it's his heart, and he's like, "Oh, you're breaking my heart," and she's like, "Oh no, I'm going," and then she stabs through him with the flag.
But what does she say? No. We're gonna forget her fucking line at the end.
She didn't have,
she didn't have good ones.
No, because like after she did the according one, she's like, "That's what I call a swan song or something."
Yeah, so that was okay.
Yeah,
and then,
there's one at the end that I like. Something about cheese. I'll look it up.
Yeah, and so then she stabs the the evil guard guy Nor through the stomach, and she's like, "I'm gonna split your heart," and it's like, no, that's not it.
I thought she actually.
And she didn't split his heart. She just impaled him right, and we were like, "That's
like, my heart
through
is
his
bleeding.
chest."
It's like, I could see, and then I was like, "Well, you missed."
Yeah, you completely missed. I kind of feel like the movie starts off in an amazing spot. It kind of lags in the middle, and then it picks itself back up, but I don't think it ever kind of recaptured the magic of how good I thought the first third of the movie is.
It's almost like the first 30 to 40 minutes was directed by the guy who had the most talent, right? And then the last bit was almost directed by a completely different person. And that's what it feels like to me. And it's a shame because the first bit was all the build-up.
Yeah.
And then the second bit was all the action stuff. The action, when it happens, feels like it was the first unit's director. Maybe the second unit's director.
Well, they ran out of money. I mean, these are things they filmed on location in Switzerland. It looked amazing, and so maybe they just simply ran out and they had to kind of rush some things.
Yeah, because to me, it kind of lagged a little bit, even after she got captured by the neutralizer, the big bull guy.
This guy who shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was kind of fucking random, but he kind of punches her or whatever. Then we get to the festival. The festival is fine, but I don't know. I just felt like it could have been more impactful with the neutralizer or something. They had a little skirmish there.
I thought his character was creative because he was an accountant that approved people.
Never approved.
Never approved.
Denied everyone.
Yeah, you cannot leave.
And then he puts on some armor, the bullish armor, and so they have a fight in the Coliseum.
She cuts his balls
after
off.
they make her fight her muscle mommies. And I was a little disappointed here with the muscle mommy fight.
Yeah, this is
because the one chick that's rippled as hell, I was expecting more out of her. She gets killed instantly by her friend in kind of a lame way. I was like, no.
We were kind of sprinting through the end. It's
that's what it felt like because I wanted them to just let us breathe, have some fun in this one. Let's do more cool choreography or whatever else. But this one was just okay, this happened real quick. It's next scene.
I mean, it's one of the problems with some of these crowdfunded and small budget ones is you don't have, they were very proud. They're like, hey, we made this ourselves. Yes. We did it without any interference. But what that comes with is really small budgets, and sometimes you just get to the end and you're like, we literally don't have any money to film this the way that we want to. Yeah. We've got Casper for one day. He's it
looks like sometimes he's in a completely different place than them on a green screen or something, but other times he's in the same place.
So,
so I kind of felt like they rushed that a little bit once we got to the festival. We did get the fight with the two big guards. The blonde lady actually becomes friends in those 3 seconds. There's a quick turnaround.
Yeah, she dies immediately. She's like,
I've never been nice to you. Go ahead and kill me when she gets the upper hand on the muscle mommy. And then she's like, no, we're supposed to work together.
And then knocks her out.
And then later on, when the neutralizer gets the upper hand on her, you could see her getting up in frame, and you're like, oh, she's going to help. And she ends up helping, and she goes, no, we're in this together, remember? And I was like, but remember for 3 seconds ago?
3 seconds.
Yeah, and then again, 3 seconds, she hits the neutralizer in the leg, and then
the very first thing, she dies.
Dead. I was like, oh, what?
Is this too fast? I want a fight scene. And I think, there's not a choreographer who's better because you could extend those fight scenes.
Even if it's not extended, it's not more actiony. It could have been funny too. I would totally have accepted something completely ridiculous, but we didn't get a whole lot of that.
There it is. Okay, I found it. It's when she finally kills Casper Van Dien. Go ahead and describe how she kills Casper Van Dien. You remember?
Oh my God! Yes, he's trying to escape. He's on the second floor, and she throws her little star.
Yeah.
The pipe bursts. He gets blinded. Falls off the rail. He falls down on all fours. She grabs this milk hose.
Yep.
Sticks it up his booty hole.
Mm-hmm. And turns
it on. High pressure. He starts spewing milk.
That's a good effect.
Yeah,
I guess they probably taped something to the side of his mouth.
Well, that's why they shot it. You can only see side of his face.
And then his head just explodes.
And
really
blood and milk.
And then this is the one good line that she says. Let's see. She says, you remember? Nobody remembers it?
Not this one. I remember the old, like the grandfather's line: "Best cheese, fried cheese."
Fried cheese.
Wow, that looks good.
Rest in cheese.
Rest in cheese,
Rest in
bitch.
I think I
cheese,
would've-
okay.
I like that. Rest in peace. Rest in cheese.
I think I would've liked it.
bitch. And then the visual is his body resting and then cheese coming out. And I was like,
Yeah.
all right, that's a good one. That's a
Yeah.
good one.
It wasn't too
It's
bad.
all right.
They
It
could
is
have had
all
some
right.
more
That was the
bangers,
best line
though.
for me. What was the best line for you?
Honestly, my favorite ones were probably Goat Pete when they're trying. He's trying the goat cheese.
Oh yeah,
He starts
and that
describing
guy's
it.
describing how delicious the
Yeah,
cheese
that
is.
was funny.
It's a
I thought that was
genuine
pretty funny.
scene.
And it was pretty dumb. He's like, "Oh, best cheese, fried cheese," and he blows up the building.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's her grandfather.
grandfather.
Now, see, that kind of derailed things for me because immediately after you beat the boss, they go to a sad scene where her grandfather.
Everything was so quick.
Everything was so quick, and then she with a face, and it's like I don't believe her crying and acting. Now they probably directed her to go a little over the top. Maybe that's why it was not hitting right for me. But to have like this sad scene there was no emotion. I wasn't feeling anything, and it was a little ridiculous because you're right when we forgot about the subplot of the rebels. So as when the inspector comes to kidnap her, because she runs away as they try to jail her, she runs to her grandfather's house, but the grandfather has a gun, and he's like, "Get out of here, this is my daughter." And they're like, "Oh, I remember you. You were from the original rebels." And he's like, "This is your last warning." He shoots one of the guards, but then the guard,
Shoots the
accidentally
barrels,
shoots a
it's like-
barrel next to his house. His whole house blows up, and the inspector laughs at him. So we think he's dead. But then later on,
I
he's
thought that
not
was pretty
dead.
funny.
It was
It
fun.
was
That's
funny.
pretty
I
funny.
liked
He puts
it.
on his glasses.
Oh, and
You
it was
see-
a great shot again.
that kind of stuff,
Composition
yes.
here is so good.
That kind of stuff I wanted. Obviously,
Yes,
more.
throughout the
yeah.
whole
Yeah.
film, and it just the gladiatorial scene completely different feeling director crew than that crew there.
Yeah.
But okay, so then he goes and he recruits everybody. He recruits the badass father of Goat Pete, who has this voice, and it's like, man, I want to see this guy in more movies because he's fucking awesome. And then, of course, they have a little midget guy who has a custom gun that they built for him.
Yeah.
It's like a tiny little
car-
bolt action.
car
It's a
98,
midget
but
bolt
it's
action
actually-
gun. And they form a resistance. And apparently, off screen, they managed to get an entire town to join them. And so when they show up at the end of the gladiatorial games after she's already killed the muscle mommies and the neutralizer, then they do the action scene where they fight the the
cheese
Swiss.
factory. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, but it's so easy because Casper Van Dien runs away and he takes the French delegation down there. And when he realizes
the
that they're
cheese,
after
yeah.
him and his force is lost, he gives them the super cheese to turn them into mutants to fight
After they signed the treaty, though.
after they sign the treaty
Yeah.
to fight the mob. But we just saw one of the monsters just die instantly, getting shot in the
Yes!
head.
I thought it
and
would've been
you just
better.
had 70 soldiers show up in the room with guns. And then I thought this fight would be better because you'd have three zombies, but then they're just like normal, small, tiny
Headshot,
zombies.
they're dead.
They're
That's
dead.
it.
And so I'm like, well, then there's no drama there. But it turns out, oh no, we gotta
Off
do our sad scene.
screen.
Oh, father!
Off
Oh, my father!
guess
But
he got
it needed to
infected
be more
somehow.
over the top if they were gonna do the oh my dad. But
Yeah,
it,
and they never really established
it's
how
almost
the
taken
zombie,
too serious.
Yeah, but they never really established how the zombie cheese works. It's like, do you get scratched? Now it's infected. Do you just have to eat the cheese?
You have to eat cheese, Joe.
Now
do we really want to get into
Well, the grandpa.
I did see the grandpa had a
So
wound.
what happened?
So I guess that one of the zombies. But right, that's
it,
what I'm
didn't
saying.
look like a bite though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What happened?
We
That,
didn't see-
that happened off screen.
I know. This
And
is like we didn't
With the way they
establish
were
those
set up,
rules.
those zombies were defeated easily, and nobody was hurt, and it was the easiest takeover of all time. But of course, you have to have this sad
sad.
scene here, and her terrible acting, and I don't know.
Yeah, but we get the grandpa sacrificing himself, destroying the cheese factory.
Well, now all that's left to talk about is the reason that OJ actually watches these movies, which is the
there is some nudity in here,
yeah.
maybe a little bit. Has a little bit of boobies.
There's a lot of like weird scenes that have boobies in there. You're like, why?
Is it weird, Alex? Because this comes from a time back in the day when these movies,
It's a French film.
the only purpose,
French film.
It's a French film.
It's a
Okay.
French film.
No, the purpose of these movies, you had to put titties in it because
he
people
won't watch
went
it.
to Blockbuster and they would rent it, and they're horny ass dudes, I guess, and he won't watch it without the titties.
I honestly did not think there's going to be a lot of boobs here.
Right, but it's
a
that
story
old
about
school, and
cheese.
since it's exploitation, sexploitation, I guess they felt the need to do it. I don't have any problem with it.
They're some
I'm
of my favorite things in the entire world. But
It's
one
utter-
scene made sense. The one with Casper where he's sitting there, he's being the president,
Yeah.
and he's got a topless milkmaid, literal milkmaid, and she serves him cheese
this one
and
I
chocolate.
did not like. I was
well,
like, oh,
but the scene
what
makes
the hell? There's like some fake ass titties.
Yeah, they're
and they're-
very, very,
people going
very
up
fake.
that
Utter
way, and I was like,
disgrace.
that's gross.
There's
I don't
like-
want to
Utter
see it.
disgrace.
the nipple placement's crazy.
I don't want to see it. Why did they choose her? I guess somebody on the director or the casting was like, that's attractive.
Well, he's
People
like,
like
hey, do you
that.
wanna
I'm
show
like,
your-
no, I don't
We have
like that.
$7. Who will work for $7?
$7?
And
Yeah.
she's like,
No, because in a scene later on, when we go to the prison, all the women that were captured, I don't know why so many women were captured, by the way. Why are so many women in the prison?
It's just
they all
fresh,
strip
I don't know.
naked and they get sprayed with
Yeah.
milk or something. And there were better boobies there. They could have used any of those girls on that, but I don't
Maybe
know.
it said,
Yeah.
okay, just a couple seconds. Not,
It was somebody's
not a full.
somebody's aunt
Yeah.
or somebody's
That-
stripper, personal stripper.
that scene also made sense. But at the end of the movie, we get these 4 women buck-ass naked attached to cow milking.
Oh.
And
That's a secret ingredient,
that's
Alex.
the secret ingredient
It's
to
a
the cheese.
secret ingredient.
Super
And you're-
Swiss cheese, ultra Swiss, came from Swiss mothers.
Swiss mothers that have been eating a bunch of like other cheese. Yeah, that's the secret. And
Swiss mothers that are being fed exclusively the first generation
First-gen
cheese,
cheese, yeah.
and they pump out and milk out the second generation of cheese that turns you into a monster.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
And it's like-
It was a little creepy the way they were positioned because they were butt ass naked in a dog, like a cow
cows,
basically.
yes.
Yeah.
But I thought they were naked at first, but I don't think they are because there's one shot from a girl.
Because you gotta
where
watch it again, Joe.
Her ass is right there, but she's wearing panties, so they weren't naked.
one
they
of
were
them was
just,
not wearing panties.
Oh. I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
and so
She got an extra $5.
yeah.
from the
You
director.
get that cheese. You can have some of that cheese. We'll let you have it. It wasn't as bad as some of the because it just made me watch some of these movies that are just like, wow, this is
Titties in your face!
softcore
Titties in your face!
pornography. And so if you're worried about that,
Softcore pornography.
it's not as bad as some of them.
It's not as bad.
Here it has purpose because it's
It's
an
tasteful.
exploitation film.
It's an exploitation film.
and it feels like it has purpose here because it's exploitation. But when you don't have that Swissploitation excuse and the Grindhouse, then yeah, I can see how it would feel kind of awkward.
Yeah, Sasquatch's Wild Weekend, totally
Yeah.
unnecessary, Joe. Sex Squatch 1 and 2,
Girls
totally
on
unnecessary.
trampolines.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, wait, what?
Forgot about
This
the plot, the
comes out of nowhere.
subplot of the dominatrix the
Miss
whatever.
Frau
Yeah.
Rottweiler.
That was
and she shoves a
Bratwurst, a grilled bratwurst, covered in mustard,
Covered
up
in-
his asshole.
Oh, it was mustard. I thought it was more cheese, but mustard up his booty hole.
And then, there's a little thing on it, so I imagine
Yeah.
she's got one of those egg beater attachments, and it's
Oh, it was gross. But he likes to be dominated. I
he
guess
acted
by
like a
this.
doggy.
And our heroine kills that dominatrix.
He just stabs her.
Just stabs her in the neck. I
Stabs her in the
thought,
neck.
And then her transformation from a timid country girl, mountain girl, into
Prison made her
She
hard.
goes, I'm not a good girl anymore.
Prison made her hard.
It was
That was
kinda
it. But again,
bad.
I agree. The prison stuff should have been like more of a montage, more of her like training,
Yeah.
getting stronger.
But I really like
tougher.
that inspector dude. I thought he was really great.
oh, he had scenes where they purposefully do the thing where they're constantly replaying the same scene, where he's looking up into the air and laughing evilly, and they cut to another character, and then they just go back and replay the same scene of him laughing, and it's just like it was used to absolutely great effect because it's funny.
Yeah.
And so like when they were really pressing the comedy or really pressing the action, they did a wonderful job. But I think a lot of the rest, it was kind of
Yeah. Well filmed, well executed in
time.
terms of visuals. I like their use of light and stuff. It was fantastic, Joe. I'm actually happy that you suggested this one. I had no idea this existed. I'm glad I saw it. Even though I have criticisms for it, I had a good time.
Yeah, but again, like we said, it was a budget. They didn't have a lot of money.
And it's kind of supposed to be bad.
It's supposed to be bad.
It's a black spot.
I don't want to give everybody that excuse because there's no point in me talking about.
Well, I mean, as far as like it being akin to blaxploitation, Swissploitation, it's kind of supposed to be in that same vein. So.
All right, so the total budget was $3.5 million.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, financed significantly through revolutionary crowdfunding model that raised $2 million from fans, allowing for practical effects and unique production values in this Swissploitation action comedy. Yep.
Yeah.
And I even said, wow, they picked the right country for it because it was beautiful. And Alex was like, well, often they don't film these in these countries. But he looked it up.
It was actually filmed there.
We looked it up.
Yeah, sometimes they go to like Romania or someplace where it's usually really, really cheap. It's like, no, they actually filmed on location. It's great.
A good splatter, action, gore, grindfest comedy that may be a little weak on the comedy, but good everywhere else.
Yeah, good. It's better on the action.
Cheesy good time.
Bam. You're going to have a cheesy good time with this.
Even if you're a bitch and lactose intolerant.
Look, it's not my fault.
It is your fault. The milk is too spicy for OJ's.
Relax. Hey, okay, but Joe, you remember, like, you want to talk about your best moments. Just to reiterate, what was your best moment and the worst moment in this film for you?
The worst one for me, I felt like the festival was the weak part. I wanted to see some more cool stuff. Yeah, at the very end, the fight scene. It was very rushed. Like,
the gladiatorial games.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot cooler. Yep. I was expecting something more badass at that part. Yeah. But it went by too fast, and then, like, the rebels show up, and then we moved to the next scene.
It did.
For me, best parts are honestly Casper and the practical effects on this.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I liked.
I agree 100%.
Oh,
best and worst for you.
I think it's got a killer intro. I think the first 20 minutes of this movie are really good. I mean, I think it should win you over right away.
And then you kind of forgive everything else.
You forgive because you'll be drinking. You'll be drinking.
You should be drinking.
Fine.
You should be drinking a lot. Yeah. But I mean, it's just like Goat Pete's execution scene was just so well done. The setup to it, like I mentioned, is just like scene after scene after scene leading up to it are just excellent. And then it kind of sags a little bit, and we kind of speed through the end. And so
unfortunate.
I think that's probably the worst part. Is it felt like we either ran out of time or we ran out of money or both. And I just wish
that's probably what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same for me. Practical effects, best part. Worst part is, unfortunately, Heidi and Clara, and that tease that they will return, and they don't necessarily. I don't know how much money did it make. I never heard of it, and I don't even know if it came out in theaters.
No,
but I wish these people would get back together.
It's direct to VHS launch 2 years ago. That's how they made money.
So maybe on VOD, and maybe if you buy it and you rent it, that could lead to something in the future with these people. Because there's talent here. Like Alex said, the first 20 minutes.
Velocipastor. They're still working on part 2.
Yeah, Velocipastor. Yeah, Invisible Raptor was good too.
Are we gonna watch it, Joe? On Bad Movie, OJ's Bad Movie Reviews.
I've seen it.
We've seen it a bunch of times.
Yeah, I'm saying the sequel when it comes out.
Oh,
we gonna do
sure.
it?
Yeah, sure. We got to do that.
Invisible
when does
Raptor
it come out?
2? For sure, on that one.
I don't know. They're still working on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to get an update on that one.
He's a man of the claw.
Do you remember your rating for this movie, Joe?
Yes, it was 85.33314.
Okay.
Maybe.
There you go.
Yeah, it's close enough. It's close enough.
All right, well, let us know what you thought of the movie. If you've seen it, leave your comments down below. If you got some other recommendations, I could probably add them to my list if I don't have them already.
Yeah.
He's seen most of them.
I have.
Make recommendations.
Yeah,
I think that would be fun.
I have quite a bit, but I'm always open to see new shitty movies. You know me. I love them. So until next time, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next thing. OJ's Bad Movies.
Bye, guys.